Hello and welcome to the Northampton Area Public Library June 2021 craft. This is going to be a card made using paper quilling techniques. So in the kit that we've provided for you, you'll find a couple of things. You're going to find 2 toothpicks. The toothpick is, really a multifaceted tool in paper quilling. If you don't have one of these, fancy little tools that I have, you can use it to spread glue, and you can also, because it is round, use it to wrap the paper around, which is something you are going to be doing a lot of, as you can see from here, here, and here. Also, if you don't want to use a toothpick, just another helpful tip, I got this little plastic needle thing in a kid's craft kit once, and it works really well, and unlike toothpicks, it does not splinter. So that is just another option for you, but you have toothpicks in your kit. You're also going to find that you have 2 big strips of yellow. You're going to find that you have 3 strips of pink, each in a different shade, 3 strips of blue, each in a different shade, and 1 large strip of green. You're also going to have a small strip of brown orangey color that you can use as an option for the antenna of the butterfly that I just included. So let's kind of get started on what we're going to be doing here. So as you can see, I have my card here partially completed. So what I have done is mainly just the basics, but I've left a bunch of stuff for me to be able to teach you. So the first part we're going to talk about is the little bluebells, which are these here. They're sort of abstract, they're really cute. So the way that I made these was I selected a piece of the blue strip that I had and cut it to be twice the length of what I wanted the bluebells to be. I've got this tiny little pair of scissors here, very useful, but you can use scissors of any size. And I folded it in half. Then I am taking my toothpick, I am dipping it in my glue here, and I'm just spreading it on one side of the folded half. Just very lightly. And then I am taking that here, and I am just pressing that together into a nice little straight line. So while we're waiting for that to dry, let me just tell you a little bit about the leaves. So I've left the leaf options really open to interpretation. These you can do with just really basic quilling techniques. So as you can see with these ones here, I basically did what you do with any sort of quilling coil. And I just took little strips of green and just curled one edge and then stuck it on the card. And I did a bunch of those. I took several strips of green, I folded them in half, and I just sort of pushed on them. So let me demonstrate kind of with this little strip of orange that I have here. I do not have any more green with me. I used it all. I made many leaves. So I just did this, and I just sort of, pushed it open to make a leaf. And mine, I sort of made little kind of sideways. Like you can see, they curl to one side. And the way I did that was I just used my fingernail to just curl the paper a little bit and then push it up like this to make those leaves. All right, so this should be all dry now. So I just sort of took this and folded it in half because you just want the paper to be a little bit stronger and sturdier than your typical quilling paper. So then you're going to take your toothpick or other small round object, I'm going to use my little tool, and you're going to push it against your fingertip, right like this. So like that, and you can see it's curled. And then you flip it over, you do it again. And you just keep pushing it on either side until you get the whole body of it curled. So you're going to do this with as many little blue strips as you want, like so. So as you can see, I've done it here with some of the different other shades of blue that I've got. I've got this darker blue, which I think is really nice, this middle shade of blue, and of course the lighter blue. And I just sort of stuck the leaves on however I wanted to. The way to get it to stick to the paper really well is you'll just take a little bit of, again, a little bit of glue on the end of your toothpick, and just really, really lightly, I took too much glue there, you can see that, really, really lightly, just dip it all along the edges. You're going to get glue on your fingertips. That's just how the game is played. And I'm just sort of going to, that was my hair, just sort of press it down very gently so that I have more added onto the bluebell. So you can make them as big or as small as you want. You can use all of the colors. You can use only one of the colors. That's why I provided you lots of options here to just sort of do whatever you want. Now for these smaller sort of flared out little blooms, what you'll want to do is, that's what the yellow and some of the pink paper is for. So you'll take a piece, however big you want it to be, you will take it, wrap it around the end of your toothpick, like so, and start curling into a tight curl. And however, you know, big or small you want it to be, you'll see how tight that curl will get. Now, if you'll see my paper here, it's already cut a little bit. So after you figure out how big you want your coil to be, you'll unravel it, cut it to the length you want, and then it's a little difficult to see with this camera, but I just cut about halfway through the strip, little snippets. Some are a little longer than others. That was on accident. And just sort of just went like this. This is where tiny scissors come in handy. They're a lot easier to handle than larger scissors when it comes to making tiny cuts like this. These are actually sewing scissors that I have. So just like that. And that's all. This is probably the longest part of the process. It's just, you know, it's a little time consuming thing, but it can also be very relaxing. So then what you'll want to do is take it around the edge of the toothpick, again, little round part. And I'm using my little quilling tool right here just because it's easier when I'm holding this so far away from myself. You're probably going to want to hold it close to your face to make sure you're getting the edges even. And the good thing about this one is you're not trying to make like a perfect coil, right? You're not trying to make that perfect circle. So it doesn't really matter if it gets a little jagged, if it gets a little funky, because that's how you want it to look. So you just tightly wrap it around. It's not going to be perfect, and that's what we want because you're going to be flaring those edges out anyway. So, just doing that, and then you're going to very delicately take it off the edge of your rounded object and just press it. Gonna lift the outside end up a little bit. You're just going to take just the tiniest little dot of glue. Absolutely, you don't want the paper to get overly wet, or it's just going to be too much and it's not going to stick properly. And this is very difficult to do. There we go. All right. You're just gonna hold it down for about a couple seconds. And then you'll have it like that. All right, so now that that's all done, you'll just put it on one tip of your finger with the flared edges facing upward, and you'll just start to use your finger or your fingernail, depending, and you'll just go like that. And you'll have a nice little bloom, just like that. Then, of course, you will once again take some glue, put it on the non-flared edge, and just glue it down wherever you want to on your card. I am undecided. Where do I want this? I think I'm going to put it here. And we'll gently press down. And I got glue on my butterfly. Oh no. All right, so once you've got all of this, and there really isn't a correct way to arrange these. This is really all up to you. I'm just giving you the tools, I'm giving you the materials, and giving you the techniques, and you can do whatever you want. And we've provided you with cardstock to make the card with, or you can just make a little frameable art piece. That's great too. They make a great gift, especially, right now in the summer, we're all starting to see each other again, and who wouldn't want to get a nice handmade card? All right, so now we're going to do the butterfly. So for the butterfly, the length of the strips is just however big you want the wings to be. So I usually do I cut one of the big strips into 4, or if I want the wings to be a little bit bigger, I'll cut them just in half and just have bigger wings. So I just fold in half, cut, fold fold in half, and cut. So I have 4 little pieces. So this is also what the pink is in there for, or you can make blue butterflies or green, depending on, you know, how much of your other colors you used. Oh, and for these little yellow ones here, these are just accents. I had some leftover yellow from making a really big one. I cut some little parts off the end, and I just did a tight little coil without any of the flares, and I just stuck them on there, and I think it looks like, I don't know, little pollen buds or something. I think it's cute. So, all right. So sorry if you can see my hair. Okay. So then we take the 4 strips like this, and you're gonna just curl them like you would any other coil. And for these ones, after you take them off your toothpick or other round object, you're just gonna let them go out like that. So you'll have a loose coil. It also helps in this process if you don't have a bunch of glue on your fingertips like I do. So I'd recommend washing your hands before and during this process. But let them dry before you touch the paper, obviously. All right, so almost done here. Like I said, a lot of this is just tedious, but it ends up looking really beautiful in the end. So, this lets me... What's happening here? Perfect. Okay. All right. So you'll just have 4 small coils like this, and you'll just let them go out like that. You'll take a little bit of glue once again, put it on the end. I took way too much glue, as you can see. And you'll just take the little end of the coil there, just dab a bit of glue on in there, and then just press down lightly, very, very lightly. It will stick. And you're gonna just do that with all 4 pieces. So I am just going to, if I don't drop everything, continue to do this. All right, so then you've got all the pieces, and these are all just going to be the butterfly wings. So you can pinch them just very lightly once the glue dries. Just pinch one end, just very lightly. I have glue on my fingertips once again, and then just pinch the other end. You just do this for all 4 pieces. You make the wings. And as you can see, I had a little bit of pink paper left over from these little flowers here, so I just added little accents on. I did my own thing on that, and it was fun. All right, so once those are all good, if I can pick them up. So this paper I was using before is actually what I brought along to use to make the antenna. So just gonna that up again. I'm going to fold it in half exactly. And I'm gonna unfold it again, and I'm gonna glue down in the middle just about half of it, just like that, and just pinch that together very loosely. Then I'm going to curl the ends that are meant to be the antenna. You can use the toothpick, or even, you know, these don't have to be very precise. You can just use your fingers to just curl up a piece of paper. All right. And then, you know, you arrange everything on the card how you like. So all the leaves, all the little bluebell petals, the little flary flowers, any little accents you might have, and then the butterfly, of course. So, as you can see here, I'm just arranging it to get it to look how I want it to look. I think I'm gonna probably put it like there, and that will look really cute. I like it right like that. I think these match well. They're a little bit different, and I think that's really cute. And you can see my hair again. It's fine. All right, so that is pretty much going to be your finished product. Yours is going to look a lot different than mine because you're going to take your own creative flair with it, do what you'd like with it, and just have fun. You'll probably have some materials left over. Feel free to use those for whatever you'd like. If you want to add your own little extra things onto the card, if you want to try and make something else, go for it. All right, so this has been the June 2021 craft instruction video for Northampton Area Public Library. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a good day.